A Single Pail of Rose, the most recent episode of Steven Universe, received under 1 million views in its original broadcast, which is certainly concerning given the crucial content present in the episode. And when you look back at previous episodes of Steven Universe, you can tell that the ratings have been horrible, and of course the first subject to blame was Cartoon Network itself, blaming the network for its horrible schedules and promotion, which alienated potential viewers. And you know what? I actually agree. I think the channel has been experiencing poor management for over a year, and I do think that it played a role in the depressing ratings, especially when you consider the fact that Steven Universe has some of the most infuriatingly inconsistent periods of hiatuses that I've ever seen. However, is this really the only reason for that? Then again, we're talking about an episode that aired during the whole controversy surrounding the promos that revealed some spoiler-heavy information. Steven Universe was a hot topic for a while in the cartoon community, and I'm sure that should have contributed to some form of promotion and anticipation. And it did! A Single Pail of Rose did have higher ratings than the last 3 or 4 episodes that aired before that. If you ask my opinion, I think the reason why this latest episode, as of writing this script, got unexpectedly low ratings is because of a dip in interest. You know what I really hated about 2017? The constant Cartoon Network schedule rents that everyone would constantly engage in. Not only were they overdone, but they were also incredibly baffling. All those people who complained about the oversaturation of Teen Titans Go had countless other options besides spending an entire day watching a single network, and I could go on and on about how the schedules aren't a big deal, but then I would just be repeating what Shadowstreak said, so go watch his video instead. I do, however, want to bring up a point that I would constantly receive whenever I complain about people who complain about the schedules, and yes, I'm aware of the irony. And it's a point that was addressed when Christina Miller kind of admitted that the network is losing interest in their cable channel, and it's that we shouldn't give up on cable and that Cartoon Network should care about making both platforms good. And of course, let's not forget the worst way you could phrase this point. Cable is the most important platform for Cartoon Network since it's the root of their success and identity. Now, I agree with the first point, but I definitely don't agree with the second point. And even with the first point, while I can agree that Cartoon Network should still care about making their cable network better, I do think that it's more important for them to put more investment on their app. You see this chart? It shows that the big three have been losing viewership since the start of the 2010s. And I'm sure some will argue that in Cartoon Network's case, it was their fault for screwing up their channel. And while I'm sure that had some impact on it, don't you think it's a bit of a coincidence that this is happening right around the time streaming services are freakishly popular? Cable is dying. More and more people are cutting the cord and choose to invest their money on streaming services. I mean, Disney has already figured that out. That's why they're launching a new streaming service within a year. And there's one thing people need to keep in mind. Cartoon Network's main demographic are children. Kids mostly don't care for television. They used to back when cable was the best platform available, but now with streaming services available at the palm of their hands, which you can also easily connect to the TV and have access to a vast number of content of which you have the option to watch whenever you want, and it's also modern. While I'm sure they still care about television, I mean, they are still watching at the end of the day. It's not shocking that kids have a strong preference for streaming apps. You know what would always bum me out when I was a kid? I had both school and strict schedules for when to watch Cartoon Network, which led me to miss out on a lot of stuff that were exclusive to certain days in certain hours. I would not have that problem at all if I had a Cartoon Network streaming service back then. It's all about convenience. Streaming services are more convenient, and as a result, it's more appealing than cable. The only people who actually like cable more than streaming services are ones who grew up with it and are accustomed to the let your TV decide what to watch system. But even I who spent my childhood and teen years watching TV like that, I would much rather watch it on a streaming service. I hate watching shows weekly and not having control of what I watch. I am a binge watcher and I'm very careful with what I choose to watch. I am waiting for the day all of my favorite stuff is available at my disposal, at least legally. And most kids fall into this mindset as well. And here's another thing, people responsible for paying for their cable services are adults, and given the gradual increase of cord cutting, what makes you think that Cartoon Network, a network for children, would have any faith that their young audience are gonna carry the same interest that the previous generation of children used to have when they watched cable TV, when even adults, pretty much the only ones who are still subscribed to this soon-to-be outdated system, are also abandoning cable. Given all of this, I don't think it's any surprise that Cartoon Network are transitioning to the online platform, and I think that's the best move, because fuck cable, it's old and it should just die already. However, I don't think Cartoon Network's current business model is perfect. I have major issues with their app. The first one, and this is the biggest one for me personally, it's not available internationally. For some reason, if you live somewhere outside North America, you're pretty much screwed, which is insane to me because it's more than clear that CN's audience extends beyond the US, and they know that. That's why they have international channels available in multiple countries, which at least in Portugal, it sucks ass. They take forever to air new episodes and they're all dubbed, which makes it immediately unwatchable. What I want from them is to make their app available in as much countries as they can and make them available in English. Also, remove the whole thing where you have to connect it to your cable company in order to have access to the app. Just put an individual monthly subscription. Just separate it from any cable company as much as possible. My second issue with the app has to do with their supply. Now, I haven't checked the app for myself since I'm not American, but from what I've heard from people who have it, it's confusing and it doesn't have every show there available, which is a downer. Honestly, I think it's possible for this app to actually be marketable, but they have to promote it well, and if they want to convince me to pay for it, they would have to 1. Make the interface user friendly, and 2. Have all of their shows available. All of them, old, new, original, Warner Bros. Produced, Hanna-Barbera Classics that Turner owns, all of them. Market the app as this mix of nostalgia trip and new stuff that kids are familiar with, and I really don't think that this wouldn't sell. People know what Cartoon Network is. If people had the option to pay for a service that has so many shows from their childhood available at their disposal, I really don't think they wouldn't at least consider. Nostalgia sells, and what's worthier than a package containing memories of your childhood, but with an even more convenient packaging. Also, no one cares for Boomerang. You know how people perceive Boomerang? They see it as Cartoon Network's garbage bin, and no one wants that. That's why no one likes Boomerang. People might like the shows airing there, they just don't want that stuff attached to Boomerang. They want it attached to Cartoon Network. Now, I've been going on and on about why I prefer the hypothetical streaming app that I just described, but there's one thing I have no right to even touch on, and that is the financial benefits and costs, because quite frankly, what I just asked for would require a lot of investment from Cartoon Network's part, and I don't know if it's the best direction they can take if they want to increase profits. The purpose of this video isn't really to teach Cartoon Network how to run their business, because they're more knowledgeable on that. My goal is to tell them what I want and potentially what other people want, and hopefully they will take what I want into consideration. I don't give a shit about what they do with their US cable channel. They can air Teen Titans Go all they want and supposedly sabotage their schedules like some people seem to genuinely think they do.
Hardcore Destiny Player 91 says, question, Pan, I heard about this quote secret plan unquote that Cartoon Network has where the network just has a ton of the same TV shows on TV like Teen Titans Go because the network wants the viewers to go to the app and watch what they want and get the ad revenue from the app. Do you think this might be what they're doing, or is this a stupid speculation? Because, yeah, it's stupid.
What's wrong with this person? Stop. Teen Titans Go sucks, but stop coming up with conspiracy theories. They didn't do 9/11.
How would YouTube survive, Jim, if everyone doesn't talk about their weird theories about how everything...
Look, there's different theories that make sense, like a magic bullet killed JFK because JFK clearly would have done 9/11. That makes sense. But this is fucking bullshit. There's no... Cartoon Network's not going to sabotage for their fucking stupid app. This... Teen Titans Go sucks, but move on with your life. Oh my god.
It doesn't affect me. I don't live there. I have other methods of watching their shows, some more legal than others. But if I want to financially support their shows, well, that's where the line ends. I need more methods of supporting their stuff aside from paying for an international channel, which I already do, but since I hate it, I never watch it since I don't want to encourage it financially, and also because it really sucks that I could not stand that channel. I'm sorry. There's also merchandise, but honestly I don't have a huge faith in buying merch. It certainly helps and I would even recommend doing that, but what I need is the streaming app that I just described. It's the best way for me to put my money on a product that came from a company I already love. So if you can, make it happen. Or don't, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. This is not my area of expertise. I'm a critic, not a business guy, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.